podcast, just
Okay.
make sure that the mic is always at the end of the table, like closest to you,
Okay.
and then that you practice a upright posture.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my mom's going to be like, this is what I told you to do. Okay.
But my parents are always like, make sure your guests have their elbows on the table. I'm not going to force them to have their elbows.
Really?
Yeah, well, because like sometimes we'll have guests.
Oh, and then,
And then my
the
mom's like,
volume.
I can't hear 'em, you know.
Volume does not transfer.
So I'll just let you know. I'll keep my headphones on.
Okay. Do I have to put the headphones on or no?
You don't. You already look professional enough with the jacket.
I can take the jacket off. I just went to work. I
Let me
went
know
to the
if it gets
office
too hot
today.
in here. I can turn the fan on.
No, I don't want to ruin your sound quality.
Thank you. So yeah, upon meeting you,
Okay.
you've got to like, okay, where's this going? You're very well spoken, and I think that and people that I've also met in the real estate business, it might be part of the trade. Do you notice that?
I think you have to be able to convey anything, right, to your audience and your clients. So a lot of real estate agents or people tend to refine it because they deal with
Right.
the public for so much.
For sure. Yeah, it's the ability to talk to anybody that you're maybe working with. I think real estate maybe exposes you kind of more. Do you notice?
Oh, yeah, 100.
Yeah,
Because you're dealing with a lot of different personalities
from all ends of the spectrum.
from every spectrum.
Yeah.
Because if you thinking about real estate in general, there's no one house that's the same. There might be different version in tract homes or like new build homes where it's all, but no lot is the same. No lot is the same. No house is the same. And then every transaction is different people because it's
Right.
different people living it in different stages of life.
True.
So you're never bored.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. But and we were just mentioning career paths. Did it feel like a risky jump to get into real estate when you started?
Yes and no. Yes and no, in that you're your own motivator, you're your own entrepreneurial,
Right.
and your checks doesn't automatically come. You only get paid or your service fee when a transaction actually closed. So you can work for years sometimes.
Yeah.
I've had clients during the height of the market have shown at least probably 30 to 50 homes in the span of 2 years and we've never closed a transaction together. Wow. And imagine all that
How do you
time.
keep a straight face with those guys? How do you not just?
First, actually, we met here at Surreal College, believe it or not, in that program I was telling you about.
Right.
And I think you have to have a passion for the job there because real estate is a very easy career to get into because the barrier of entry is not very high.
Right.
And a lot of people do have the real estate licensing as a side gig, part-time gig, or they're investors themselves, right? And they have like their own portfolio.
What do you think about that mindset of like, I'm just going to do real estate on the side? Do you think it's even feasible to?
Some people can manage it. Some people can manage it. And when I first started my career, I did 50-50. I did 50% real estate and 50% political consulting. Wow. I know. I have a very diverse background.
Well, what is political consulting like?
I kind of just fell into that, and we can get back on that topic in a minute. But I don't judge anyone for doing or having their licensing as like backup, right? It's helpful to be multi-talented or multiverse, and everyone's such multi-hyphenated. If real estate is something that interests you, then obviously do it. It's just with real estate, it's about experiences.
Right.
Every transaction and every person teaches you something. So when you're asking why I didn't get upset with that person, did it get frustrated? Yes. But through her is how I found my first investment property. I wasn't even here. Maybe I was actually in Atlanta for a conference. And she saw the property and she's like, I don't think it's for me. And I was like, wait, maybe it's for me. And I believe in God's providence or just like intuition. And I looked at that house and I was like, I think I'm meant to buy that house. And I had to figure out how was I going to be able to afford to do that and how to get it. And it became my first property. It's actually in Midtown Mobile.
What part of a house speaks to you?
Um,
The kitchen sink?
No, it's a really cute 1930s cottage. I feel like I have this weird gift of being able to match people on homes. Like sometimes I'll walk into a home where I'll meet people and I'll get a feel for them, their energy or their vibe.
Yeah.
They tell me what they need wherever their stage is in life. And then I'll walk in the house. I'm like, I think this is meant to be your house or however it is.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, I really like trust my intuition and vibe or callings or gods, however you want to describe that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.
Welcome, guys, to the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. Today's new wave, Han.
Yes.
And I didn't want to mispronounce it. How would you pronounce it?
Yeah. So I go by Han. Hua is my last name.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Hua or karate Hua is what people used to do when I was in high school. But
Well, it's a
Han
pretty
is,
name.
yeah. But I go by Han, which is actually my middle name.
Nice, nice. And yeah, so how did you realize that in God's call, I'm glad that God called you to come to Gulf Coast Music.
Well, you popped up, and I was like, "This is cool." I'm always looking for local things to support, or local anything to support, anything new, or just what seems interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest music like adventurer, so to speak, but like my sister and her husband is.
Your reaction was funny. You're like, well, I don't know. Do you have the right person?
No, 100.
So yeah, when it comes to following intuition, how did you realize that you were meant for real estate? What were some giveaways, do you think?
I don't know I was meant for real estate, but it started in college. I needed like just different, like when you're in college, you have set schedule, but it's not as great. And in Boston University, I'm not sure if Spring Hill has it or South has it. They had a job posting boards that just were looking for college student for random small little projects, right? So I answered one of them, and it was to help a realtor, real estate agent. She was the president for the Women Council of Realtor, which is like the national organization. And every once in a while, she just needed like someone. This is pre like printing out handwriting in cursive type of she just needed my handwriting to like write out name and addresses and make it very personalized. And I have pretty decent handwriting, so I cursively wrote like
Pre-cursive.
pretty cursive handwriting on envelopes and things and address those things.
Gotcha.
Or help her do the mailings or whatever it is that she needed.
Okay.
So it started with that, and then
And who were you sending them to exactly?
to her client. So she had like she could have done mail merge and do all that, but she wanted a more personalized touch. So it would just literally be me at like her desk. And just, I mean, you got paid for however much you got paid then. And I was like, all you need to do is for me to write their name down and address it. Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then she would pick me up on campus and all that stuff. So that was my start to like being exposed to real estate or realtor.
Right.
And then as I traveled throughout my life, the wealthiest people I met always did something with real estate. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, what is that like? How? Mm-hmm. How did they accumulate their wealth or riches, or however what it is, or moved up or have generational wealth or things like that? And it all circled back to real estate. So I was like, maybe it's something I should learn more about.
What is the first thing that you see when you go into a house that, without regards to real estate, just like the first thing you notice, do you think?
I think it's the same with people, energy and vibe.
Energy. Gotcha.
And vibe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can tell a community whether they care for their street, their house, things like that. So that's what you notice.
Not to put you on the spot, what would you say the vibe is at Spring Hill College?
It hasn't changed much, except when I left, I think is when they first started the circles so that people aren't driving through Spring Hill and just going straight from Dolphin Street to the Old Shell.
Gotcha.
It used to be just like a cut through.
Yeah, it kind of is. So it's kind of like the old guys going through a midlife crisis now. That's just Spring Hill.
Spring Hill's not the same vibe, very traditional, very traditions. I added, I think, a couple campus buildings, but your class are probably still the same size, right? Or has it grown?
Yeah, it's probably still the same.
Yeah, so it still has a very much like a small campus Episcopalian, right?
Catholic.
Or Catholic. Oh, Jesuit. That's right, Jesuit vibe.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, well, because when I went to looked at school, everyone thought I was going to Boston College, which is the other Jesuit school, and it ended up at BU, Boston University. So
Huge difference, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
One has a football team, one doesn't.
Right.
BU doesn't. So we say we have been undefeated since 94 or 92 was when
We're 1831 or something. So.
when was our last football team.
Right. Well, yes. So the energy, the vibe. Do you ever find it monotonous going into the houses with people, or is it always like a new spark?
No, because every house is not the same.
Right.
Every person's not the same depending on when you're
A lot of
getting
variables.
them. And buying a house or selling a house is usually at key points in your life, or different, where it makes you really think about what your future is, where you want to see yourself. And then some people don't know that about themselves. So I've had clients where I'm like, where they haven't purchased, right? Because they never came to a decision about what they wanted. And
Right.
yeah. And then there's some people that purchase super quickly because they are like, this is my next move. This is what I'm doing. Or
What kind of relief is that for you?
I don't think it's relief. I just want everyone to make the right decision for themselves. And it's hard, but I'm a different agent. Some people will just sell you the house or however it is. I'm more of like, okay, what's your goal? And a lot of my clients are repeat clients. And sometimes we'll have like yearly, at least we'll do yearly check-in just to make sure strategically if where they want like their portfolio or what their next chapter is, and does it make sense to diversify, buy more, hold, whatever it is.
Music feeds the soul, but food feeds the future. Right here on the Gulf Coast, thousands of families don't know where their next meal is coming from. Feeding the Gulf Coast is changing that tune, one meal at a time. Imagine this. For every $1, you can provide up to 5 meals. That's like turning a quiet solo into a full-blown jam session of hope for someone in need. Let's turn the volume up on kindness and down on hunger. Visit feedingthegulfcoast.org to donate today, because together we can make sure no one goes hungry on or off the stage. Feeding the Gulf Coast, because every community deserves an encore. Whoa, 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 don't let the dogs out. The City of Mobile Animal Shelter has many loving pets ready for a nice home. Whether you're looking for a dog like Snoop or a cat like Doja, the City of Mobile Animal Shelter is where you can find your next friendly companion. They're located at 855 Owen Street, and you can stop by anytime between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We all need a little bow wow in our lives. Call 251-208-2800 because the City of Mobile Animal Shelter has you covered. That's 251-208-2800. Roof. No, it's I guess I just haven't dug into real estate as much, but I like that aspect of it where you become their their advisor with properties.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and everyone's always like, real estate should not be political, is what people say. And I just look at them because I was like, wars are started because of land. So I'm not sure that real estate cannot be political.
Wow, right.
I mean, if you think about it, go back to the Bible, go back to any major war in history, it's over land.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, what's going on now in the world,
Yeah, so I mean, that's just in general. It's
Right.
It's control of land and resources and all those things. So, but people like to say they don't want to make real estate political, but it is always political.
And what does making real estate political mean?
I think there's like, well, I just want to buy a house, or I just want to sell my house. I just, make that, because moving or any of that is very stressful, right? Whether that's an apartment or just moving in general, because it's just an aspect of life and it's usually a big step. So they're like, oh, I don't want to think about what's going on with the economy and how that affects pricing. Or I think a big thing that I've seen in the past, not since I started, but at least in the last 5+ years, even pre-pandemic, was affordability was going to be a huge issue, especially as the next generation comes up. And where that, like, you can even get into a house, right? Like, do you think your generation or whoever it is, because the age to buy a house has gotten older. Also because of delay. Maybe it's also delayed adulting.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be adulting. I certainly don't think it's all that's cracked up to me, but it's also affordability.
Yeah. Adulting is like you jump into the lake that everybody hypes up, and then you're like, wait a sec. This is like 4 feet deep. Yeah, it's yeah. Right now I'm staying at a house that my friend bought immediately out of college.
Okay.
And
That's awesome.
we've learned a lot. I mean, he's really big on real estate. His name's Ethan Sisk. I don't know if you've known him at all, but he's yeah, just I was just so surprised when he did it, because it never crossed my mind to even conceptualize. Like you said, it's something that you think about. I'll do that, later on, maybe late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess. And since we've been there, he's been really, he's shown kind of an impression towards like setting up different paintings in the house. And he just sees things differently, I think, in the house. Do you notice that as well? Like maybe you see things differently?
If you're an owner of a home versus renting, right? Versus like, it's like checking into a hotel or checking into an Airbnb versus like going to your uncle's house for a visit or your parents' second home for a visit. It's just different level of ownership and accountability. Gotcha. And so I would like to say, I mean, I love going to hotels because I don't have to think about anything, right? I'm just like concierge or like, hey, the shower head's not working, right, or like the water pressure's not working.
Sorry, but when I get to a hotel, I make sure to like leave a little mess in the bathroom, like I get away with it.
Yeah, but if it's your own house, you're like, I have to fix everything. Like you have to be accountable for that. So in that way, yeah, you do see it a little bit differently because you take pride in ownership. And it's like owning a car versus renting a car too. It just comes back to accountability. And it's really funny because for a long time as an agent, I didn't own my own home. And I live with my parents, and I still do live with my parents. But now I have 2 homes. But but it was for me.
You gotta go on the big boy playground.
No, I did not get, and it all happened when it needed to happen. For me, it was more mobility. I love having freedom to be able to do things and move when I want to, travel when I want to, pack up a suitcase, and peace out.
Yeah.
Owning a home or owning a car makes it harder to, lots of liability and responsibility for upkeeps. And so for a long time, I didn't have that.
Jet setter.
I'm still somewhat of a jet setter.
What is a jet setter?
I'm just being able to be like, hey, I think next week. Or like, I want to go to blah, blah, blah. Right. I'm going to check out tickets, see if I can afford it or if who's going to be there and be able to just go.
Damn, man. I want to be a jet setter. Really cool.
It took me a long time to set up this life, though. This is not an overnight thing.
Right. Yeah, man. Sorry.
Go ahead.
With just getting into real, because I've thought about it recently. Would you say that you're doing real estate full time now?
Oh, yeah, 100. I moved full time.
How many clients do you have? 100?
No, I don't have 100. Okay. Again, anyone watching this, I am not the model real estate agent. Do not follow my example. So I'm going to just get that out there. So like great agents have like a database and they keep in touch with their clients and they have a whole marketing thing and all that. I don't have any of that. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't have a formal system. I work by myself, and I'll partner up with different colleagues for different things.
Wow.
It's a control thing too.
No, I feel that.
But no. So I try to do at least one deal a month is my goal usually. So 12 deals a year. That's it. But I
How do
also
you do that? What's the logic?
it's also for me, I choose my lifestyle a lot and my peace of mind and zen. And then, like I said, I live with my parents. My parents are a bit older, so like they have doctor's appointment or different things. It's I can do that with them.
Gotcha.
And I really am big on like quality time and time by yourself and go explore and all that stuff. So I live a pretty semi-retired life for a full-time agent. But at any one point, I could have 0 clients, or I could have like right now I'm juggling 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I have
5 clients.
yeah, and 3 deals. Yeah, so it's just ebb and flow, and
Yeah.
and you're like, well, how do you find your clients?
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
always ask.
well, my very first client I sold to was an internet lead for my broker that was moving down here, and she just used me again last year, and I sold her a home in Lake Forest and Daphne.
How long did it take you to?
So I got my license that May. My broker asked me to go and take classes my very first week in real estate, which
After you'd already gotten the license?
yeah, no, literally just got a license
And they
beginning
said,
May, and
go take classes.
go take more classes. Because it was the first time they offered on the Gulf Coast anywhere. Just I think even in Alabama was like a week-long certification course called Certified International Property Specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And given my background, I just literally repatriated is the term, but moved back to the U.S. I'd worked abroad in Hanoi for 2 years in a different career
In where?
Hanoi, Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah, I lived
2 years.
for 2 years. I worked for a nonprofit, a very known one, for 2 years. And moved back. And I hadn't lived in Alabama in 15 years. I literally left after high school. I graduated from Murphy and went to school in Boston, and like lived and worked in Boston for a long time before I moved to California and then abroad.
Hey fighters, listen up. Are you tired of feeling like your conditioning holds you back in competition? It's time to bridge the gap between theory and real performance. At Dexter's Fitness Center, we're launching a combat sports strength and conditioning program designed for boxers, kickboxers, MMA fighters, and combat athletes who want to get faster, stronger, and more flexible while building the endurance to go the distance. No more outdated workouts, no more burnout. This program is built to enhance your skill work, prevent injuries, and maximize your potential without wasting your time or overwhelming your body. Training starts August 12th at Dexter's Fitness Center, 1900 Government Street, Mobile, Alabama. Sessions are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. If you're ready to step into every fight confident, prepared, and in peak condition, call 251-709-2654 or email contact@dextersfitnesscenter.com today. Let's build the fighter you're meant to be.
Is this broad labor? I'd like to talk to you about the possibility of moving a couple of things for me from my daughter's house to my garage.
What's the transition from Vietnam and Mobile like?
Oh, that was harder than I thought. Well, it had been 15 years since I owned a car.
Right.
Because in Boston,
Boston,
you can take the train everywhere.
Oh, you didn't even have one in Boston.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, so I took they call it the T. I took the T everywhere, and at that time, Zipcar was new, so you could rent it by the hours and stuff like that, or borrow a friend's car if you were going. And then I lived in Hanoi, and which means you could do scooters, you could do taxis and stuff like that. So I just Ubered and taxi everywhere.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to drive there because living in Hanoi taught me to really appreciate being in American traffic and not getting angry. Because there's nothing you can do. It just gets stuck, right? So are you raging? You're not
In
raging.
Vietnam? Or
Yeah, in Hanoi. Yep, in Vietnam.
There's like no lanes. It's just.
No, I mean, there's guidance of lanes and traffic lights. Do
Right.
people always follow it? Sometimes, sometimes not.
Yeah. That's funny. Are there noticeable differences in the real estate overseas and in Mobile?
And in the States, yeah, states are much more formalized. I don't think people give enough credit on how much the federal governments and just in general protect the consumer, even though it looks like there's a lot of scams that comes up and the agents or whoever, there's like just so much money that's involved
Right.
in buying. Here, at least you can get a mortgage for 30 years. In some places abroad, you have to pay the money like all up front or go private money lending. And it's not a 30-year set rate. It's like
Right.
3, 5, and it gets like recalibrated.
Yeah. I figured out a way to rob a bank.
So that's why I think the white picket fence home ownership is very American because it's actually America is like one of the only country that your mortgage is a stabilized one for 30 years. Everyone else is pegged against whatever interest rate they have
Wow.
after like 3 to 5 years.
Wow. That's a risky game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
It's like if you don't pay it all in 1 year, then you got to bank on the market.
I mean, no, I mean, you have different terms, but it's just the interest rate that goes up and down, and
Right.
that's not, as you can see, not fun.
Yeah.
So that's what makes the U.S. system a little bit different than other places.
For sure. What are some good characteristics of clients?
Find a trusted advisor. That might be somebody you know. That might not be. Some people are comfortable talking about it. Some aren't, right? So number one, trust the person you're going to do business with. They're supposed to be partners and walk alongside them. Trust their advice.
Right.
Again, real estate is a very easy career to transition in and out of. I think that was the hardest part when I first started real estate because it came from, although it wasn't a formal corporate job, it was very corporate for a nonprofit. I used to work for the Clinton Foundation during the height of
Jeez.
during the height of the Clinton-Trump 2016, like 2014 to 2016 campaign season. Yeah.
Right.
So that was really fun. But it was very, like there's corporate and standards and things like that with real estate. It's some people do it part-time. Some people flip in and out.
It's less strict, you think?
It's not that it's less strict. I think it's just so many different people that are in it. That doesn't necessarily mean you're all on the same wavelength of standards.
Gotcha.
And what that means to have that standard for your client or yourself.
Gotcha.
So I'm more used to a much more formal, and especially on the Gulf Coast, everyone is so laid back. People don't believe in timeline for deadlines for things. So no, seriously, they don't. So sometimes you're like, by the way, did you see that we have 24 hours to respond? Do you think I'll get 24 hours to respond back? And they'll be like, well, my client is traveling
Right.
or blah, blah, blah.
He's fishing right now.
Yeah, basically. Basically. And you just have to go with it.
Right. It's turkey season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Okay. So then, yeah. So I guess you kind of answered both ends of the spectrum with like good characteristics and bad of a client. What is like? I guess you don't want to knock against the clients that you have right now, but like, what do you see when you're finding clients to work with? What are some good appealing characteristics?
I think number one is trusting my opinion.
Right.
I think you have to
Okay,
have that.
sorry. Yeah.
Number one is like you have to trust the person you're with because it's a
Right.
partnership.
Yeah,
Number one.
Right. That was a question that I was trying to lean into as well. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. No. So it's trust because if you're not trusting that person, why are you using them for one of the bigger purchase of your life
Okay. So then.
or one of the biggest, way to build wealth or whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether you're selling a house or buying a house, right?
What's typically some good advice that you would give, in different scenarios to your clients? What are some?
Number one, there's like 5 Ds that people say. I don't love the saying. Why people buy or sell real estate, right? Death, divorce, dating or like getting married, diapers, and I think that's it. That's 4. Yeah, and then I mean a 5th one would be like investment or deals.
Deals. What was the 4th one?
Death, divorce, diapers, kids,
Oh, diapers. Gotcha.
dating if you're moving in or getting
Yeah,
married,
right.
and then deals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's usually when typically people buy or sell real estate.
What's the strategy behind like knowing the market and finding the right deals?
I think this is really funny because I was just talking to a friend like this. He's in analysis paralysis, and they're really successful real estate agents in a different state, but he is trying to figure out which state to invest in and how to spread the investment. And you can buy real estate anywhere. It's just a matter of finding the deals. Some people that I've met feels like they only want to work or buy real estate if they can drive. Right, so they can see their property, or they can fly there within a 2-hour flight, however, whatever it is.
Right.
And then it's just like not crypto, but I mean it's like It's just investment in general is what type of risk taker are you? What type of gambler are you? And what's your criteria and comfortability in that?
Sure. Yeah, that's I guess real estate and financial advisory have a lot of similarities. In the way that you kind of do business, managing different clients, but also in how you.
Yeah, I mean it's asset management, and it's the different asset classes you can buy. Right, you can buy into stock, you can buy into gold bars, you can buy into crypto now.
Right.
I didn't realize you could buy into. Now Taylor Swift has basically told everyone you can buy, catalogs of music, which I didn't realize you can invest in that. I actually met almost client. They're not my clients, but I did talk to potential clients, and she's a music writer, producer. And I was like, wait, how do you know each other? And she was like, oh, I met him because he wanted to buy, rights to my catalog, like whatever it is. And I was like, that's a thing? Like, there's just crazy way to invest money.
Wow, the Swifties just got even crazier.
I mean, that's why it was so important for her to buy her catalog back, right? And why she released her version versus the first 5 album when she didn't have it.
Yeah.
It's because it got sold a couple times.
Yeah.
And it increased value every time too, right?
Are you a Swiftie?
I am a Swiftie. I am a Swiftie. But I'm also like, I love old music. Like my dad's favorite band growing up is Santana. So like on my list of things I want to take him to is to a Santana concert. He loves Black Magic Woman is one of his favorite songs. And then the guitar riffs on those things on Santana is just like crazy good.
How are you going to take them?
They came to Biloxi, but we didn't get to go there. I saw that they're also in Vegas, but I don't know if I want to take them to Vegas just because I don't love Vegas. So we'll see. But I don't have that much time left because Santana's pretty old now.
Yeah.
So I have to do that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, their kids might be buying new real estate.
Not their kids. I mean, I think it's cool to see like the older. Like I wanted to see Red Hot Chili Peppers when they came back out of retirement, whatever it is, because they performed at Hangout like a year or two ago and they hadn't performed in a while. So it's just like different bands that this might be their peak. Because I've seen like Lauryn Hill, and she was not good in concert.
Really?
Well, because I think sometimes when you reach a certain age, your voice or whatever changes, and whether you care about.
She reached her hill.
Pun intended, yes. But also whether you care about your craft. Whether you care about your craft, right? Because it is a craft that you have to continually practice, no?
No, yeah.
I'm not a musician. We're at Gulf Coast Music. I feel like you are.
I'm glad that we shifted into the music convo. But yeah, it absolutely is a craft. And they say Lauryn Hill's album is the greatest of all time.
And it's a great album. I
Right.
listen to it all the time.
I mean, can you imagine like your one project being the greatest, always having to live up to that? And if she really loved music, she probably would have kept dropping music. So she must have really loved it to make that album. But people change and all that, and she's probably so far disconnected from that version of herself that released that album that now it's just like, all right, I'll go perform for $200,000 and.
Well, I think my issue is I saw her House of Blues in Boston, and her band like just overpowered her, so it was hard to hear her. And then you can tell
Maybe
when
a production
musicians, sounds obviously sound quality, mics, things like that makes a difference. But you could tell when people actually like Celine Dion, right? Like she's really into her craft. Like you can tell when people are really into music, into their craft. Like Taylor Swift. Okay, if we're gonna come back, Taylor Swift really loves making music.
Yeah.
Right? There's just certain people that, just like DJs, right? There's certain DJs that love making music and will always continue playing. And
if they're homeless.
yeah. Like David Guetta, I think I saw an interview recently because his son is becoming a DJ. And his son was like, well, I'm in a place with only like 5 or 10 people, because I grew up with friends that play music and ska and all that stuff. And you go to these things and there's like 10, 5 people, whatever.
Right.
You're not playing like a major concert, but you still
get that feeling.
Do you?
I think so. I mean, at a concert, I've had some guys on here that have like performed in front of like at the Wharf, and they say it's actually tougher, which they might just be facading it a little bit, but it's especially when you're playing like a really sentimental song and your audience really reacts to it because you're seeing eye to eye with your audience when it's 5 to 10, but when it's just a sea of people. You don't really, your brain doesn't really, maybe going out there you get a little nervous, but you're not the entire time seeing somebody's reactions as you're playing the song. So,
Interesting.
yeah, but I think I'd still be nervous if there were 10,000 people compared to 5.
I guess I was like in dance or whatever, and I've had that what was like the performance high, and it was a performance at South, and it was at the gym or whatever, but it was like a really good performance, and I connected with the audience like that, and it's a really good, it's like a high like never experienced, and you're just like, oh, this is why people perform and do it,
Right.
in practice.
Just keep chasing it.
Yeah, and you chase it because it's actually really fun, the adrenaline and the rush and all that.
For sure. What is your opinion on tiny homes?
I mean, they're great. If that's actually one of the coolest places I ever glamp at was like a stretch of along the Panhandle in like Tallahassee area where they have the springs.
Okay.
And you can go for the thing, and it's very Midnight in the Garden of Evil. So, I don't even know if you know that reference of the movie. Southern Gothic.
Okay.
So imagine.
Southern Gothic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a term which is basically all the Spanish moss on the trees, and it's just Southern Gothic, right? So it's that type of vibe. And what they did was they have a piece of land and they built like they rented out pads for tiny homes or campers and then built like tiny little cabins. I can't live I mean, I could if I wanted to because I travel so much. I live out of a suitcase in like 300 square feet. But tiny homes are great. It just depends on like what your preference is. Like some people can go camping and just pack up and have all that and live there,
Right.
And then some people need 3,000 square foot space. So it just depends on what you want and what you want out of life.
Sure. I'd seen it like on House Hunters or something, and I like the concept of it. It focuses on that simplicity. And do you think you ever get, I guess, carried away with kind of the materialistic aspects of a house from all the real estate experience?
Is that a nice way of saying it? Am I jaded? Because I've seen so many homes. No, I think it's like people. I just have a curiosity for life, so I think that helps a lot in life and living, but also in looking at homes.
For sure.
But I do have a wider range of looking at some.
Right, because it's like when you see, like it's one thing to see it on the internet, but like to see it in person, it's. Do you think that's like kind of had an impact on you at all?
Oh, 100%. I can walk into like a brand new build because I did this and my aunt hated it. Because one of the first things I did before I even moved back to the area was I listened to a couple of podcasts to figure out who were the players in town of running the show, so to speak, whether that's political, money, real estate, or any of that. So I listened to, I think, Marcus Netto, who is Bluefish. He still does sometimes a podcast just about like Alabama entrepreneur or just Gulf Coast entrepreneurial.
Gotcha.
So I listened to a couple of the podcasts there. And that's how I figure out which brokerage to join and things of that nature. And through that, and then just a bunch of networking, I've gotten to see a lot of different type of homes. So the brokerage I work I'm still work for, I'm with Bellator Real Estate. It was founded with Nathan Cox, who is actually a pretty big developer now. His dad developed, I think, Timber Creek, and then he was a walk-on Alabama football player, was in the military, saw the crash in the market way back when, like in 2009.
Pulled out?
No, it's not that he pulled out. He saw what was happening. So he had access to people in capital. So what he did was use the access to the capital and bought out all the people that were going bankrupt. And that's how he started with the real estate, just to stabilize the community, but also saw the good deals and good bargains. And that's how he started in real estate. Was like he saw opportunities when people were fleeing out.
Yeah.
And ended up being super successful, like very successful. You definitely should have him on the podcast. He's a really cool guy.
Bluefish?
No. So Nathan Cox is with 68 Venture. Marcus Netto is has a marketing company called Bluefish, I think. Something with fish. I know that. And he does have a podcast, and he used to. I think he might still.
Okay.
But that's how I found out about Bellator and Nathan and what was going on. And Nathan, because he bought all this land at the crash, had a lot of land that he needed to develop and he had the supply, but he didn't have the demand, right? So then he created his own building company, basically, and started building subdivisions and homes. And so it tied into Bellator. So I used to sit at new homes, which are like these new builds you see now, and watch it goes up and learned about the entire construction process and what materials qualify as standard, what's upgrades and all that stuff. So when I saw my aunt in California, and she was looking at new homes because she was like tired of like the home that she bought.
Right.
We walked in. I was like,
"This house
that's an upgrade. This is blah 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 blah." And she was so annoyed with me.
Yeah. You're like, make sure you get a teleport. She's like, what? I haven't even seen one of those.
No, my thing is because I was so ridiculous when I was in Vegas. So Vegas in Nevada became a hub for a lot of people during the pandemic for many reasons. No income tax is one of them. And money was flowing freely. People like to gamble, whatever. So a lot of people bought into the Vegas market. And it's still a good market to buy.
Oh, yeah. People got those stimuli.
The checks.
Yeah.
But it's just like, but it's also like good weather, right? No rain. They were lax on a lot of rules and things like that. So a lot of people from California and different things bought into the market. So the market was really hot. So recently I was at a conference in Vegas and we went to a new build subdivision. I think minimum 4 million is the homes. 3 to 5 were like the standard homes and it goes up.
Right.
But it's outside of Vegas. It's in a place called Summerlin. And that night, our hotel, we were staying at the new hotel, the Fontainebleau. Sam Hunt was playing. So like Adele was like having her last concert show. It comes back to music. So like, and they were getting ready for F1. So the strip was just in a gridlock, right? So our bus decided not to show up to pick us up, and we're a group of people. So we all had to individually take like Ubers and cabs to Summerlin, which is like 30 to 45 minute ride, right? If I'm buying a $5 million home and this is my second home, my first thing is this sucks because traffic. I'm not here to do that. So I was being ridiculous. I was like, is there not a helipad in this neighborhood? Like, can we not fly here via helicopter? Because they have those tour all the time. And then the second question I had was like, if this is a if I were this is like just different mindsets depending on how wealthy you are. Is if I have, and I mean they have this at the beach though, because like elderly or disabled, right? Like if you have a 2 or 3 story home for $3 to $5 million, wouldn't you have an elevator?
Right. Yeah, that's a necessity.
But they did have an options for an elevator, but they didn't have an elevator in their model house, and I was just being ridiculous. So yes, I get a little bit depending on the scale of things, but I've seen like, yeah, $20 million home to $30,000 home. So it's just depending on what your scale or your perspective is.
Cool. I had a good question. Are there certain aspects of like homes that you can kind of predict their price?
There's no such thing as prediction of price. There's good data point that can help you estimate pricing. But I always tell clients, buyers or seller, your house is only worth what someone else is willing to give cash for and money for.
Right.
So you might think your house is the best house ever and it's worth this much, but if nobody's buying it at that much, it's not worth that.
Right.
Right? That's just the honest truth. And so based on data points and economy and how it's set up, there's certain, you can give a good estimate, but it just comes back to a lot of time. It's like timing, and if it's a good deal to someone, if they need it, right? I call them pain points, if they really need it. Some people are on a timeline, right? They're moving here. They have so much time to buy and move their family, or they I just had a deal where he's a Coast Guard and he was leaving for his next assignment. Wow. And they needed to sell their home by a certain date and things like that.
That's probably the 6th D is deployment.
Yeah, 60 days or however many.
No, the 6th D of like the 5
Oh, deployment? Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I never thought about that.
As the military moves around, they're always looking for a new house.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I never thought deployment as a D. I'll add that to the arsenal.
Diapers and deployment.
But actually, a lot of military guys sometimes end up just keeping it and having it as a rental because they buy it through their benefits, the veteran benefits. Yeah. So there are different ways of owning homes.
Yeah. Real jet setters.
I mean, if you're with the Coast Guard, I guess, and the Air Force around here, yeah. I mean, it's just knowing, you don't know what you don't know, so knowing how to utilize capital and build wealth.
Yeah. Because you don't need a real estate license to get into real estate, right? Like if you want to just be an investor.
No, you need capital, and then there's wholesalers, so you don't need a license.
What do you? Because some people get really wealthy off of investing, and I was talking to my friend Ethan about that. And
did you ask him why it was so important to him to buy right away?
No, I don't think I've. We've discussed our faith in Mobile and just kind of where we'd like to position ourselves with. And we both agree Mobile's a good spot. And
are y'all not from Mobile?
He's from Dallas, and I'm from New Orleans.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God! This is like there's nothing to do for you here then.
Right. No, but I got a job, and I wanted to keep Gulf Coast music going, and he happened to buy the house, so it was a good move to rent from him. But
he's house hacking. That's what that's called.
Really?
It's called house hacking.
Is he a house hacker?
Mm-hmm. That's called house hacking.
And what is that? Just means like renting it out to people?
It means he's able to afford the house because you are renting from him.
Right.
Because you supplement his mortgage.
Gotcha.
So he's building equity in his house. So I think that's one of the few ways that we can afford homes now. If you're young or single, or even, I've known, couples that also have done this, is if you only can afford so much and you want to supplement your mortgage, is you rent out rooms in your house. But you have to obviously be comfortable living with roommates.
Right.
And in the South, most people just like their space.
Right. That's probably more common in cities.
Yeah, it's definitely more common in city. I lived in so many different apartments. My mom used to be like, why do you keep moving every 9 months? A, because of school, and B, it's just I don't know. I wanted to try out a different neighborhood, and it's my lease is up, so I'm going to just go and live by Fenway or live by or in Cambridge or wherever it is.
But when it comes to the like growing as an investor, is that like what is the success rate of starting out and then eventually becoming one of the bigger sharks in an area?
It depends on if that's what you want to do and have a passion for. Real estate, there's no easy way to make money, ladies and gentlemen. I say this with the most love for everyone, including my friends that always are like, Han, I want to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's called gambling. You can go to the blackjack. You can go to casino. You go to Vegas, go to Biloxi,
Right.
play the stock market. That's called gambling. That's legalized gambling.
Yeah.
But making money it requires something of you, right? Whether that is grits, sweat, tears, whatever. So it's not as easy as everyone makes it seem to be on the internet.
Yeah.
There's headaches you deal with. Like today, I woke up because my house in Midtown is currently an Airbnb or sometimes an Airbnb. Most of the time, I prefer having somebody there 30 plus days. But right now, because I don't, and he was checking out today, so I thought we were all very kosher, except this morning at 7:30, he texted me and was like, by the way, the shower head broke, water sprayed everywhere. And I was like, how does a shower head break?
On the 30th day.
No, it's not it just like on today he was supposed to check out and I thought we were like all clear. He been such a good tenant, like hadn't heard of heat.
Right.
And then today he's checking out and there's a broken shower head and water. I don't know. He's like
he saved it until the last day to tell you.
Literally like 10 minutes before he checked out.
Right.
But I don't know if it happened this morning or it happened last night or I don't know. I actually am going to probably go there after this podcast to check out just to make sure because I was going to have the cleaners come and do the cleaning and I was like, I need to go and A, look at it, B, get a plumber in there and fix it. But it's not easy. It's not just hands off.
He may have not taken a shower the entire time. It might have broke on the first day.
No, I think should have been fine. Yeah, I think it just happened recently. But it's just like there's no easy way to, if you invest in real estate, unless you're investing it in like something, a real estate trust, a REIT, and it's just passive where you give them the money, you're guaranteed a certain return. It's almost like a stock type of thing.
Yes.
Or if you're more hands-on, which is what you're saying is in Mobile, when I first started, a lot of people were shoring up their estate because whoever was the head of the estate portfolio was passing away or getting to that age. And so they were needing to, I call them disposing the asset. So a couple of my clients picked up a couple of homes through that way but they were also needed so much maintenance because a lot of the times when you have rental assets and you don't see it for so long, you don't upkeep it as well. You know, we call them slumlords, but that's not the best words. And my clients are more conscientious than that. So it's like picking up these older homes and things like that. They need like new roof and new sidings or like, you know, paint and things like that. And these things all cost money too, right? And sweat and time. And some people are good DIYers and fixer-upper. I'm not one of them, but other people are. So you either do it through your own sweat and tears, and save money and gain equity that way, or you have enough capital and then you do it, and then that's how you just hold on to it and it slowly appreciate. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does. It does. You know, I guess the climb in real estate is really fascinating to me. Like,
What do you mean?
I guess more on the investor side. I've got a friend that his dad immigrated to the company and kind of made his way through starting small and then eventually getting up. And, you know, it is a field I've heard that's like the rich get richer, and it's really tough to kind of break the threshold of getting to a point where, you know, you're really succeeding as an investor in real estate.
I mean, it takes time and patience, right? And I think in this day and age, a lot of people want quick returns, which you can because you can strike lucky, but you also can do one deal and have all the stuff that you've just made gone in an instant, right?
How's that?
And that is like you weren't as careful in your due diligence, and then you find out like there's all these foundation damages, and it's an extra however much money, or the market turns super quickly, and what you thought, what you thought you can make off of it, all the money you sink in. I mean, I just read a story. This guy was like, well, we were told, if we bought this 4 units, it would, and we're barely like, breaking even. Do I sell it at a loss? What do I do to, generate a return, basically? Otherwise, I'm just sinking a losing ship. So, yeah. So this is how I'm going to phrase it to people. Buying a house that you're living in, it's like being in a marriage.
Right.
Do your due diligence, pick carefully.
Right.
You can always get out of it. Not the easiest sometimes, but you can get out of it.
Trust the energy.
Buying an investment home is like having a baby. I can tell you all the best things, show you the best house, show you the thing, and be like, you should do it. But until you actually do it and know what that's like, it's, It's like you have to have a baby to know what like it's like to be a parent. Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And but all of
those.
the, I mean,
or watch Modern Family.
Wait, you can watch. Well, don't they have those like baby thing that they give you or eggs things or whatever it is?
Right.
Like they like you pretend that you. I don't know. Most people try out with pets first, right? It's
Right.
kind of like that, I guess. I don't know.
That's a good analogy. Have you noticed that working for Bellator instead of being like maybe an independent real estate agent has helped you? Like,
I think Bellator is a great company, and I think the agent, the professional standards that we have, that we hold ourselves to, has been great. They also were an amazing company during the pandemic. I think they're one of the few company that really stuck out their neck and worked and asked their business bank to take us on as PPP clients before anybody else would, because we're all 1099, so we're all commission based. There is no steady check. And at that time, unemployment benefit didn't extend to 1099.
gotcha.
I actually did a deal during the pandemic, but there was a lot of people that couldn't work, right? And there was no money coming in, but you still have bills to pay. You have mortgages and card notes and grocery, whatever it is, right? And they were a company that stuck out the neck and was like, you're going to take on our agents as your PPP client. And they did.
And what was their risk by saying that?
There was this, they were going to take their multi-million-dollar business, which is multi-million-dollar, from the bank, and the bank didn't want to lose that business account.
So by the bank taking you guys on as PPP clients,
They kept Bellator as a client, the company itself.
okay,
And in 2021, we did almost $1 billion in transaction.
so they basically really trusted their real estate agents.
They trusted. It's not that they trust their agent. I think it's just like you are only as successful as who you surround yourself with, but also who you build up. I'm a huge believer in like I want everyone to win at life.
Right.
I like going solo traveling, but I would love it if more of my friends or whoever it is have the time to come with me, right?
Yes.
Like I just went to the most insane wedding, and I asked everyone I asked a lot of people if they wanted to come, and everyone's like, no, it's going to cost a lot of money or whatever, and it's time. And then they saw how insane that wedding was, and they're like, wait, why didn't you ask me? I was like, I did. I really did. I really did, and you did. He flew. I don't know if you know Bobby Brown. He was married to Whitney Houston.
Wow.
He's
in a couple Drake songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Bobby Brown?
Oh, Whitney Houston.
Whitney. But Bobby Brown had a group called New Edition, and then he split off and was just Bobby Brown, and then they did Belle Biv DeVoe. My Prerogative. If you hear the song My Prerogative, I think you'll know the group. So the groom flew out that group and Bobby Brown for the surprise guest
Sheesh.
at the reception.
Sheesh. You must have owed him for something.
No, he just had a very insane wedding. It was 5 nights of insanity.
5 nights.
Yeah. It was a multi-million-dollar wedding.
Weddings are getting crazy nowadays.
Yeah, no, but this is like, we also had
Have you
a
ever
foam
watched-
party before Bezos had his foam party in his yacht.
Yeah.
Like our last day of wedding stuff, not wedding, it was like the recovery day, was a rosé all day with Dom and Veuve as the champagne. Did not realize how expensive those bottles are, by the way. They're very expensive because I saw how much they were at the airport. And then they also had a foam party at the pool.
One of my mom's favorite movies is Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, 100%. It was exactly kind of like that.
Yeah. let's see. Leslie. Sorry, I was hoping if I said Leslie, the question would come back.
It's all good.
I guess where do you see yourself with real estate in a few years?
I wanted to move back to Vietnam and start my own company, but that's probably on hold for the moment.
Start your own real estate company?
Yes, but not in the way of like building buildings or selling. It's more management things. And like I said, I think different countries, real estate works differently. In Vietnam, it's communist. So you don't own the land, the government owns the land, and you lease the land from the government. So it's not necessarily best to own real estate there, but you can lease real estate and do different things with that. So I wanted to just learn, because it's been about 10 years since I've lived in Vietnam, just go back and just be back and live in the country again, actually. The perfect time would have been 23, but it's okay. I think I missed.
Was the market the best in 23?
No, the market was the slowest in 23.
It would have been good to pull Nathan Cox.
Yeah, and gone back there. Well, yeah, the market was slowest in 23 because that was the year that interest rates shot up.
Gotcha.
And so everything got just like very, very dead. For me, anyway. Other people might have had a really good year, but 23 was the worst year for me so far.
Oh, in America.
In the U.S.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking that like in Vietnam it was like slow, and then it would have been good to buy in, but
it is slow. It was slow in 23 too, and 24 because I went in 24.
Where do you see Mobile's market in the next few years?
Oh, I am so bullish on it. This is why I own real estate here.
Yeah,
so bullish on it.
I should just quit my job already.
No, you shouldn't. You should have a steady job with a steady income and work towards putting some money away so that you can buy.
So bullish, do you think?
We have to build a bridge that's multi-billion-dollar in multi-years. That I-10 bridge by Bayway, like we need a real bridge. Like, that can't handle like storm surges and the amount of vehicles we have. That bridge is built in like the 60s or something. So they are conducting testing right now in the Bayway. So minimum is at least $1 billion project.
Gotcha. So they will build a bridge then?
Yeah, they're testing right now.
And you think once they do that, it'll help the properties nearby?
It's not that it's helped the property nearby. I think it's just infrastructure money. It's just money spent, right? And we're also an Airbus headquarter, American headquarter that they keep growing. We also are having great infrastructure project with the new Civic Center, the new arena. I'm hopeful about that. And then
Next New York.
No. Mobile will never be New York, and Mobile will never be New Orleans either. So I know everyone wants Mobile to be New Orleans, but it's like never.
It's a good thing.
Oh, I know. My sister went to Tulane,
Yeah.
and I have friends in New Orleans. I go to New Orleans when I need some culture and some music, but Mobile is always just Mobile.
Take
And
that Amtrak.
yeah, I saw that. I'm actually a big fan of trains.
My grandma was like, now you have no excuse to not come back home.
Oh no, she's already pressuring you.
No, I want to go back home. I miss that. But yeah, I agree. I really want to get into real estate to test the waters in Mobile. I think it's a good spot to test the waters.
I think it's also like one of the still affordable places to buy in it too if you're house hacking. I helped a lot of girlfriends that have been able to move on to like living in Atlanta now because they bought here when they were single, pre marriage or pre new job, and because of that they were able to build equity and then able to afford like in a bigger city. And then I think my sister that went to Tulane, biggest regret was not taking my mom up and buying a house like your friend did after graduating.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of her biggest regrets. Because she had came out, because it's private university, you come out with debt, and you're like, I don't want to take on more debt. Like, why would I do that, right? So that was the mindset she was in. And not that she was in that much debt, but enough for her to be like, I just want a stable job and do all that. And my mom's like, well, I'll help you put down the down payment. If you and your friends live there, you pay for, obviously, some of it. Your friend pay for it. That covers pretty much the mortgage. My sister just didn't want to take that on. She didn't want to leverage more debt. But real estate is all about leveraging debt. There's good debt and bad debt. And then you saw how the real estate market shot up because she was the class right after Katrina. She's actually she has her 15-year reunion this year. And you saw how New Orleans real estate market shot up, how she bought in 2010, 2011
Jeez, yeah.
versus now.
Post the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and all that. Yeah, so it's one of her regret was not buying into it at that time and listening to my mom. But I didn't buy either, right? So I don't know, different timing in life, I guess.
Hindsight, yeah. Well, really cool. Yeah, this you definitely make me reconsider going into it, and
Going into real estate or buying real estate?
I think both. Just to have somebody as experienced as you with the business and hear your perspectives on it, just I can watch as many videos or anything, but to hear it in person like this, I'm definitely encouraged. I want to get into it.
That's good. I mean, don't be afraid of it. But also make like financial decisions that's best for you.
Yeah.
I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor or tax accountant, but just
I'm gonna hack a mansion.
you're hacking. Some people do that. I mean, I had a 4-unit that sold beginning of this year. And when I say 4 units, I mean it's a property with 4 different apartments, and that qualifies as residential mortgage. So you could technically live in one and rent out the other 3, or had a duplex and you live in one and rent out the other unit, and that's how you afford it. I think people are just scared to start on that journey, and I think a lot of it's like financial literacy. Like you don't know what you don't know, so I wasn't taught this. And in other systems, you have to have all the money.
Would you say you're a bit riskier as a personality? Like financially, you're like more comfortable with risk?
Not finance risk. Adventure, yes.
Yeah.
Not finance.
Yeah.
Adventure, definitely not finance.
Yeah.
I push envelopes just for fun for people and things just to see. One of my favorite things is you don't know unless you ask what people's limits are, which also makes me really good at my job. Because I was like, I know this is a ridiculous ask, but
they're like, yeah, actually, I wanted to buy an alligator.
No, my first home that I ever sold, like the woman loved all of the furniture so much in that house that she asked if she could buy it fully furnished.
Wow. And that's a rare thing?
Yeah, for like owner occupied house, unless you're at the beach or something.
Right.
That's not normal.
Right.
And she was like, no, I really like the furniture. Do you think you can get the furniture at the price, like just all in for this price? And I'm like, we can ask.
Yeah. And since then, do you pose that question to like future home buyers that you work with? You're like, and by the way,
No, but I mean, the ones that I'm going to have listed soon, they are super conscientious, which is like for boomers. Sorry, boomers. That they're like, we know we're going to need help in this next phase of our life, right? So they're putting themselves in assisted living. So they're downsizing and and I was just like, we can just sell your home partially furnished or however it is to make this whole transition much easier, because they're going from like 2,600 square feet to a 900 square feet 2-bedroom apartment with no yard space and so it's like a big transition of life for them too, and just a lot of
minuscule house
emotions, right? Like changes are hard for people in general for the most part, unless you're cool with like changing and evolving all the time. But as you get older, it's nicer to have routines, and so they were just really stressing about it. I was like, just take what you want, what you don't want, just leave it, and we just tell people they can just buy it with the house.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the reverse right now, is trying to sell a house partially furnished so that they don't have to worry about having people come and pick things up or donate or like all of that.
Yeah, that advisory side is really appealing, I think.
If you work with the right person for you, it's supposed to help make the whole process at least as smooth as possible, as stress-free, but there is still stress, or as minimal stress. Right. And then, I mean, it's supposed to be, somewhat fun. I mean, I mean, it's just, it's an adventure, right? I look at life as an adventure, so you're just moving to your next chapter of life, whether you're leaving this chapter or you're moving into the chapter. Yeah. So you just want to make it, I don't know, as fun as possible is what I try to live life as.
That's awesome. And I really appreciate you for coming on the podcast because I know I needed to hear that. And
I don't know if anyone needed to hear that, but
guys, just do whatever makes you happy. Quit what you're doing now
No.
and have fun.
no, sometimes you really do have to adult.
Hop on a jet tomorrow. Go to the next Bobby Brown wedding.
That was a surprise. I did not know that that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's your favorite Bobby Brown song?
I don't actually know much Bobby
You were
Brown
just
song.
vibing.
I was just vibing go because My Prerogative is actually a really good
gotcha.
song. But it's just I feel like everyone's very nostalgic these days for like old school hip hop, R&B, and things like that. So any of that, I don't know. I have a very varying playlist of different things. I have like super old 60s, 50s type of classic music. Like Patsy Cline stuff, all the way to like very country, very Alabama, to like very global and Korean, Korean music, but also Japanese reggae.
Japanese reggae.
Japanese reggae. Look it up.
That's cool.
Yeah, Japanese reggae. I found it while I want to travel.
Nice.
Japanese reggae. Yeah. Well, I mean, because Megan Thee Stallion just did the hip hop one with what's his name, right? Whatever one of the songs she has with the Japanese rapper, and then Vietnam is
That's a wild cross brand.
and Vietnam just had because the Billboard the company, the group is actually led by a Vietnamese guy now.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he just opened up the first Vietnamese Billboard chart. Stuff like that, because Vietnamese through the TikTok and globally, right? Different songs get popular, and so right now in Vietnam, Vit pop is really happening, and it's also a mix of like old Vietnamese opera with hip hop. Like it's like a weird genre bending.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Like it's just weird genre bending.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Korean pop or what was it? What is the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack that everyone's like really into lately with Netflix?
I've been living under a rock.
If you listen to a couple of their songs, it's like different genre, even just within that one song. So I think it's just like, I don't know. It's just a cross of different type of music globally now, right? And so it's just cool to see. But yeah, Japanese reggae. Look it up.
Awesome. What I will do after this. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. If you're looking to buy a house or just want some advice, hit up Miss Han.
Yeah. Han's fine. Yep. You can find me on Instagram, Hula Real Estate, or just Google Bellator Han. I'll come up. And yeah, we can chat about real estate, your goals, or just want to chat about anything.
Or about Taylor Swift.
Don't knock on TS.
Thank you guys.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.